Listen, I'm just going to give you a quick introduction, right, for the real thing. But Dr. Lee is in the house.
Hello.
Come on, no, don't get shy now. You're live, Dr. Lee. It's
I'm
live.
live. I'm live. I'm
Listen,
live.
we're having a conversation, and I wanted to get her on and get everybody, used to Dr. Lee. You're going to see Dr. Lee from time to time. Amazing counselor, just a brilliant woman. One of the great black minds of the city of Toronto, and I had to get her out here to talk about the Simone Biles and Jonathan Owens relationship. Dr. Lee, what does it mean to be the prize? Because Jonathan Owens thinks he's the prize. What does that mean? What does that whole concept mean? Talk about that.
Well, in terms of prize or the prize, that all depends. Everybody's definition of what the prize is or who the prize is definitely going to differ, right? So for some, the prize person may be someone who is very beautiful or attractive.
Somebody who's on the height of the social sphere. They've got money, they've got the looks.
Right. That could be considered someone's prize. For another person, it may not be the things that everyone can see that make somebody the prize, right?
So give me an example of somebody who isn't the main so-called
LeBron James, right? We were talking about that earlier. And
so LeBron James in the first example, he's the so-called prize. But
again, he could be considered that in terms of his relationship with his wife. Somebody can deem him to be, he's the prize. Of course, he's an NBA player. He's
worth $1 billion.
Exactly, right?
But in
another context, someone else, like let's say now his wife,
Savannah James.
She's not a celebrity. She's not a public figure in that regard. But would I consider her to be a prize? Again, based on what we see.
I think Savannah's the prize for sure.
Absolutely. And I think definitely LeBron would regard her as such as well, right? Because she just seems like, she's a really good woman. Watch out. She's down for her man. She's down for her family. Like you said, you don't hear any scandal about her, or him,
or LeBron,
or him for that matter.
And I give a lot of credit to his wife for that.
For sure. For sure. So value, it's all a matter of, I think, a person's personal value system, what they regard to be important to them.
Why are all these women going crazy that Jonathan Owens called himself the prize over Simone Biles? Why are they losing their mind? And hey Yvonne, I see you. What's going on, family?
Hey Yvonne. Good to see you too. Why do I think
why is the female internet going crazy about Jonathan Owens calling himself the prize, even though we know Simone Biles was the one who was really the pursuer in that relationship, according to them. But it seems like women are offended that this gentleman called himself the prize.
The reason being, I think why people may find issue with that is because typically when you're speaking of or hearing about the prize, it typically is usually referring to the woman.
It's a woman.
Right?
Yeah. So the women are saying, women are always the prize. Women are always the prize. Right? This guy, the audacity of this guy, and they're saying the relationship won't last.
Right.
They lost the womanosphere. Losing it, man.
Yes. But I mean, I think men can be prizes as well, right? I don't think it's necessarily gender specific.
But let's not be coy. In that relationship,
right?
Who do you think the prize is?
Well, I don't know enough about their publicly. We haven't seen enough about their situation to say who do I think the prize is, based on my familiarity with both people.
Who's the institution?
I would say Simone.
Simone's the institution.
Absolutely.
Right?
I would say
Simone
is.
Yeah, Simone has got the longevity.
Mm-hmm.
She's done stuff no other woman has ever done. She's this multiple Olympic champion.
Yeah.
For years to come. That
Right.
lady's going to be an institution. No one's going to remember Jonathan Owens. They remember my name right now. But I'm sorry, Jonathan Owens. He better look at this. No, that's a good-looking brother. No homo, but that's a good-looking brother, right? Simone, other than her athletic accolades, is more demure in her physicality, if I can say it like that. Right. So, in respect to the physicality, you would think, yeah, Jonathan Owens is the prize in the physicality part. But when you look at the other things that Simone brings to the table, Simone's a powerhouse.
For sure. Absolutely.
So what do you do now in relationship scenarios where, so a couple comes to you and there's clearly an imbalance in respect to what is happening with the couple in respect to, the husband and the wife, and the dynamic of their relationship is challenged because of a lot of times low self-esteem. What would you do in relationships like that? In a relationship, let's say Simone Biles comes to you and she says, I've seen all these things they're talking about my husband. They're saying I'm not good looking enough for him. I don't know what to do. It's really affecting us. Well, they came to you, Dr. Lee. What would be your advice?
Well, how does she see herself, right? More so than
Make your people see you, man.
more so than how people are viewing them.
Bun them is what you're saying.
Pretty much bun that, right? And that's the thing. People are always going to have something to say. So Simone could be, somebody that people classify as like, ooh, so gorgeous, beautiful.
I don't think people would call it that.
I'm not saying that. No, I'm going off of what you said. You said she's demure, right? So saying that if she was somebody that people, the majority then, let's say, classified as this, knockout, there's still going to be somebody who has something to say. True.
People still don't like Beyonce.
Exactly. There are going to be people, some people are not going to think she's attractive too, right? Because of course we know.
I don't think Beyonce's cute. That's not my cup of tea.
Well,
personally.
So see, and somebody else would beg to differ, right?
I'm sure more people than.
For sure. So these are the things, right? That again, it's what is important to you, or how you look at things, and what you like and what you value. It's not a matter of a collective.
True.
Right.
I think Carrie Hilson, I think Rihanna, I think Carrie Hilson's bad. I think they both cuter than Beyonce. But in respect to Simone, right? Simone, you can find a girl looking like Simone walking through every mall in America.
Right.
Simone's appeal is not in the physical. It's just not in the physical realm, right? She's more than just a pretty face. And,
absolutely.
Yeah. And so, this concept of the prize and this concept, I hate it. I absolutely hate it, because it takes away from the, what are the true qualities. I believe make this young NFL football player at the apex, good looking, can have any Instagram model he wants. He said, no, I want to make Simone Biles my wife. And whatever Simone Biles did to do that right there needs to be bottled and sold.
But did she do something? Like, did she do something, right?
Turning a guy with that much options into a husband, a wife with no necessarily religious ties, and just this, he didn't need Simone's money because he has his own money, right, and just deciding in 2 years to marry her when he probably could have just kept dating. I think ladies underestimate the capacity for certain women to turn themselves from simply women into wives. I think Simone Biles has the magic sauce.
you know what? Because Simone could just very well be a very quality
girl.
woman, and he realized that.
Absolutely.
Right? So despite her not being, this knockout
beauty, right?
Right? And there's beauty. Nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with Simone Biles.
Yeah,
but again, because she's not that, that shows you that doesn't make it, right? There's more than just that. Right? And clearly
But what is the more? That's the angel is in the details, right? What is the more? What else did Simone Biles bring to the table? We can go further. Rich Paul,
yes,
and Adele,
right?
Now, me personally, even though Adele's skinny right now, you know a chubby girl can show up any day now. You know she's a few hamburgers away from being, Fred Flintstone. But Rich Paul looked at Adele and said, "I'm going to make this woman my wife." Now, Rich Paul's worth 120 million. Adele's worth 240. He said Adele signed a prenup. I don't care. No big deal. It's her second husband, right? Apparently.
Yes, it is.
The first husband, I think, took her to the cleaners, they said.
Right.
But what made Rich Paul decide to make Adele his wife?
Yeah, but I think just by the way that you are saying what made, him, I think it's because you're basing it on the superficial.
I'm absolutely superficial. I'm shallow. Listen, most men are.
I'm not.
Nobody had to ask Jay-Z why you want to marry Beyonce. Nobody had to ask. Nobody has to ask a man why he wants to marry a beautiful woman. But when it comes to women that are not necessarily, the so-called facial knockout beauty,
right?
The question remains. Okay, well, what made you make that decision? That's why people are asking the decision. That's why they asked Jonathan, how did you get this girl?
But again, it's a matter of how you're looking at it, because, as we all know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So you're still looking at it from the perspective of
but beauty is
appearance.
Objective too.
It is. Absolutely, it's objective.
Jonathan Owens, as a heterosexual man with no desire for men,
right.
I can look at that guy and say that guy's a very attractive guy.
Absolutely. You can still appreciate someone's beauty, their looks, or whatever. But again, that doesn't make somebody a prize. It doesn't make
Yvonne says, all I know is the prize is the high calling. Speak to it, Shango. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, but you're still speaking to it as from a look
superficial perspective, right?
Right? Like Adele.
But it goes to what I'm saying. Yes, I'm speaking it to superficial. So if you don't pass the superficial check mark, then there's more to your character, there's more to what you bring to the table as a woman to cause men of substance, to say, I'm going to choose you and make you my wife.
Yes.
Men who have things to lose.
Right.
Men who have a multiplicity of options say, I have isolated my multiplicity of options and I decide to choose you. I think women who have the capacity to do that, I think we need to have a conversation with them. They've won the trophy, the wife trophy. Many women are out here fighting for that right now. They want that trophy. They want the ring. They want the man to treat them properly. They want all the things that they want. And when they get there, I think it behooves us to ask some of them, well, how you do that? We know Simone. Simone went into the man's DM. Simone went into the man's Instagram. Simone hunted down Shiman. So Simone drove to meet the man. The man was living how many kilometers away? Some said 45 minutes away. She drove to find him during COVID. Hey, the woman wasn't playing no games.
She was looking for her. They were on a dating site, an app or whatever he had mentioned, right? So, obviously, she was hunting. They were looking, right? They were equally on this site, obviously, to potentially. Well, look.
People love to walk
I
in front.
know.
Listen, I drive in a car. You have to.
But yeah, they both were. They were both looking for something.
They were both on the site.
Yeah.
She clearly was looking.
Well, he was looking too because he was on the site. You're not going to be on a site if you're not looking also.
True. What do you think of dating sites?
Not for me.
Not for me at all.
Personally, like I'm not one for.
I find like if you are an attractive person, what do you need that for?
I mean, I don't. For other people, not for me. I don't think just because you're attractive doesn't mean. I think there's probably plenty of attractive people who access dating sites. Just because I think depending on what your access to other people are, right? Like depending on maybe where you might not work somewhere that you might work from home. Right. You know what I mean? So you're not getting out there.
But if you're a famous Olympic athlete, like, do you really need a dating site to find a man?
Maybe. How do we know?
And that's the point. Aha! This woman could not find a man with a gun and a hatchet. She had to go on a dating site to find her husband. She had to go hunting.
That doesn't I wouldn't say that.
She went hunting.
But just because she is a celebrity, I think sometimes that could even make things a bit harder in terms of finding someone genuine or what their intentions are. Like,
what true celebrity needs a dating site to find a person?
I'm not saying they do. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm really not saying they do, but clearly, if she didn't feel the need to have to access one, then that would be a moot point.
Yeah, he clearly.
And him too, then, because he was on it as well. It's not one-sided. She didn't find him.
But I understand him more than her.
Why?
Because Simone Biles is Simone Biles, and people are carrying on. Oh, we don't know who Jonathan Edwards is. We know him as Simone Biles' husband. Well, Simone. Nobody knew who Simone Biles. Nobody was looking at Simone Biles. Nobody wanted she.
Who said nobody want? You can't say nobody. In Jamaica, I don't believe that.
In Jamaica, we say every whole farm implement had them tick a bush.
You married who you love. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that she couldn't. She, like you said, she's Simone Biles. She could find a man. I don't think it's a matter of her not finding a man. It was also COVID. You mentioned it was also COVID, right? So
I will bet. And this video can go around the world because we're going to finish this, but I will bet it. Everybody yelling here, you had no trouble finding a man during COVID. None. And the fact that Simone Biles needed to go hunt her man down speaks volumes.
I don't think need is such a strong word. How do you know she needed to? She chose to. She chose to. I don't think she needs to do anything.
True. I think both of them chose to.
Absolutely. They both chose to go on a site, and at the end of the day, it worked out for them because they found love and they're married, and you know,
okay,
who's to say?
Who's to say? That's Dr. Lee. More from Dr. Lee coming. I'm wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. I say Merry Christmas. I don't know what all you is on. And you don't like Christmas, that is your business. We had this conversation last year. But as a Christian, I celebrate Christmas. And so I'd like to just also honor all of the individuals who are still struggling, still going through things. Our Black Hebrew community in Israel. And but to all the Spiel family, season's greetings, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, one love. And you're going to hear a lot more from Dr. Lee. Dr. Lee, any closing words?
This was on the fly, so I don't even know, but Merry Christmas to everyone. Just may your holiday season be filled with love, peace, and happiness.
This is The Real Spiels. Del K. Brereton. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk to you all soon. Bye.
Bye. You're such a clown.